Did you just poo yourself?
No, but I'm starting this show. Hi everyone, it's Ethan McKinley and welcome to the 2-Minute Terminator. It is episode 53 and we're going from minutes 106 to 108. The 2 minutes bridging that gap. Now, Ellie, I have a question for you. Who plays Captain Kirk in the new Star Trek movies? Go.
I have no idea. And
First
stop
name,
doing countdown on me. I hate you.
His first name's Chris.
I don't know.
Chris.
Pratt?
No, that's Guardians of the Galaxy. Come on, you got 15 seconds. Chris.
I hate
Plays
you.
Captain Kirk.
Stop doing this to me.
Plays Captain Kirk.
I don't know. I haven't seen any of the new Star Trek films. Like Captain Your Kirk. Stop it.
It's Chris Pine. He's one of my fact attacks coming up later. Hit the music.
I
think this guy's a couple cans short of a six-pack.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger to me.
Load up.
You didn't do the fourth.
Thank God. It sucked. Yeah, it sucked.
Hi everyone, we're back. Yes, it's Ethan McKinley. On the other end of the line, asking me if I pooed myself is Ellie Fitzgerald, my eminent, charming co-host. How are you, Ellie?
I'm good. Steamrolled, but good.
No delays there. It's episode 53, and yes, we are going from minutes 106 to 108, the 2 minutes bridging that gap. Within the 2 minutes we're about to discuss, it opens with Pops punching John Connor with his electromagnetic fist gauntlets. Whatever that is, I have no idea. And it ends with John Connor phasing. Gauntlet. Yes, exactly. It ends with John Connor phasing through Pops' body, and there's like wave after wave after wave of body punches. We also got a returning listener, James Spaldner, who's clearly been working for Blackwater again in some illegal mercenary operation for either the MI6 or the CIA, or maybe even both, maybe Mossad. I assume he's freelance at this point. He goes away for many months.
The Nazis.
Our resident weapons and military tactics expert, James Spaldner, is back, and he's written a letter which we were going to cover yesterday, but it was so big, and I got so involved with bullying Ellie with the countdown clock. We forgot to do it, but we're going to devote a large portion of our episode to answering a reader's letter. Ellie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
It's snowing in Surrey, so it's all magical and white and lovely and wet. It's great. I'm having loads of fun. It was a very
on
slippery.
A car I saw today. That was it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's actually settling here. It's full on snowing. It's amazing. God, I love living in Surrey. Yes, I'm all good. I can't wait to talk about this particular episode. How are you feeling today, Ethan? Are you feeling better?
I was actually thinking the term there's no tomorrow. That's what I feel like. There is no tomorrow, but in a negative sense.
Oh my god!
But as we're discussing,
lonely because you left me.
Yeah, as we're discussing a film that literally is about the end of the world and doomsday, it seems
and there
quite
being
apt.
no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Literally in 4 minutes' time, they're fucked.
It's the lack of hope. I need Gandalf now to just kind of comfort me and be like, well, don't worry, because you'll go to the Grey Havens. Blah, blah.
Dude, you don't even like Lord of the Rings.
I like Lord of the Rings, the films. I don't like the books, and I don't like the Hobbit trilogy. I appreciate that they tried.
Yeah, but that's because you can't read, Ethan.
Look, I'm Star Wars all the way.
Don't hate something you fear. You should do it. Face your fear. Read a book, goddammit. Ethan, I have a question for you. Yeah. Please, can you explain to me again how this weird magnetic bracelet thing has that effect on John? Because as we start this clip, he's punching him in the face, and it has that weird kind of. It almost looks like he's burnt, but then obviously regenerates. How is that? How is this whole magnetic force field bracelet thing actually doing that?
I don't know. It's because he said it's an electromagnet, doesn't he? But he's got no power source or battery attached to the actual thing. So I don't know. I guess because each individual part's a machine, it kind of either pushes like repels it like a magnet would, or attracts it. So he's like, when he punches him and pulls his hand back, it pulls bits off him, maybe. But it's obviously very disruptive to his system. But in answer to your question, I don't know.
Okay. And then we see like this like grappling with poor old Pops, as every good woman should.
Tussling.
Tussling with Pops. And he picks up, well, he rips that like laser thing that's just made a like mold of a Terminator, and like slices John with it.
Yeah, how would it
and
do
that?
And
that doesn't stop him.
Yeah, but I mean that slices through his body bit. The laser in question, I would imagine, is sending information into the liquid metal. So why would it cut metal?
Okay.
Fucking Dudley. Why would it kind of cut through something? It's not a cutting laser.
I have no idea.
It's pulling the metal up, pulling it up. Also, when he yanks it out of its like stable housing in the floor, kind of, why doesn't the power go off on the laser?
Yeah, exactly. Missed a trick there. There is a bit of a delay, isn't there? Sorry. I don't think it's too bad though.
No, it's fine.
But also, what would it actually take then to destroy John? Because if like a laser that's like separating parts of its body, like actually apart, like, yeah, how does that work? What would actually destroy John apart from this huge explosion of the world?
Can you like redo the question but make it simpler? Because you said like you kind of you didn't answer, you just trail off. You're like, then but how would? But I don't know. But could you just simplify the question?
Or maybe it's what would it take to destroy John Connor?
An even bigger magnet. One of those magnets in cartoons when it's kind of like a horseshoe shape and it's red and it's got two silver bottom bits on it. The very thing you see in like you'd get at primary school when you used to get the iron filings. Those classic magnets. Which
oh my god, yeah.
Why do you never see those magnets anymore? Or do we just not look for them? Is it magnets? Are they not a thing?
No,
Because when I was a kid, magnets were like a thing.
You should bring them back, Ethan.
Like Quicksand. I thought that was going to be a bigger problem than it actually would be in my adult life. Don't jump on the floor as Quicksand, or sharks or lava. Your bedroom floor would be sharks or lava.
Is Quicksand actually real though? Is it?
Yes.
I've only ever heard it in stories. I've never actually... Really though?
It is real, and
I don't ever remember reading a news article. Find me a news article about someone dying in quicksand. No, we have not discussed dying in quicksand on this show.
I'm sure we have, because I remember I've got this deja vu memory of posting quicksand videos on YouTube on one of the show notes. Or Vuja Day, of course, when it's obviously happened before and you do remember it. Which is the opposite to deja vu.
Yeah, we've had that.
Yeah,
thanks for explaining that for us.
I know it. Well, it's sludge, isn't it? Essentially, it's like a viscous. It's dirt and liquid, I suppose, but it looks like ground. It looks like ground.
Wow.
Fucking hell, we're touching all the bases in this this crackling show, aren't we?
We really are. So we then go to John. No, we go to Kyle and Sarah. Whenever I look at him, I just think Jai Courtney. Like, he's just no one to me but him. So we see them running around this room. They're trying to find a way to get into the main hub where Arnie is. And all of a sudden, all the gates, they start shutting down. And then finally, we see Matt Smith. He enters. And he's actually the only form of Genesis that looks like a human being, in my opinion. And a recognisable human being, because I knew that it was Matt Smith, and I never know who the actors are.
That is.
Why?
In terms of the story, I think it's becoming more of a living presence, so there's more kind of light generated from the hologram, so it's not like a nebulous or ephemeral thing anymore. It's becoming more and more solid in every sense of the word, philosophically, physically.
Kind of more and more human-like.
I also think because Matt Smith, I guess, is a named actor, they want to show that this is Matt Smith, and also this is the guy from the start of the film that was the physical embodiment of Skynet. So I think for those two reasons, I think. Well, I mean, I don't think the filmmakers thought of this. That you can see more of him because he's becoming more of a solid living entity. I think it's more to do with the fact he's like a named actor versus the kind of, no offense, no-name child actors that have played Skynet up to this point from the age of 8, 12, and then 18.
Okay.
Good to know. Quicksand, by the way, Ellie, is real, and Bear Grylls is stuck in it right now. So I'm going to post that as some information for our listeners if you want to know
is
about
he actually?
Quicksand. Yeah, how to get out of Quicksand. Which I understand everyone kind of doesn't really like Bear Grylls because he's kind of like, he gets flown somewhere, stays in hotels, and just runs across a bit of desert and goes, oh, look, I've eaten a grub. And he's not really doing the survival thing, whereas Les Stroud, of course, he does the Survivor Man show. He goes into the middle of nowhere with GoPros and like a radio mic and makes his own show, essentially, literally in the middle of nowhere, and survives. And he has very little good to say about Bear Grylls, saying he's a faker. But I thought you said some like words to that effect recently, so I was just curious as to what you thought.
I hate Bear Grylls. It's just ridiculous.
Why do you hate Bear Grylls, Ellie?
It's just hyped up shit. It's just, oh, watch me rub snake shit into my face that will protect me from the mosquitoes that live in this jungle that I will be in for about 2 hours whilst I film this show.
Well, you might need that one day.
He's showing you the most. Yeah, because I'm going to be in the jungle, like in the middle of bloody nowhere. Whereas, you're going to think I'm an absolute neek now, but out of all of them, Ray Mears is my man. Like, he actually goes into normal English woods, and he'll teach you how to actually make a fire. He'll teach you how to, like, nap flints. You can get a spark, and you can actually get a fire going if you haven't got any matches. Stuff that's actually bloody useful.
Is Ray Mears like an ex-Special Forces person? Or is he just an outdoors enthusiast?
No, he's more than that. He's had some kind of, like, professional, like, education and job at some point in some kind of respected field, but he's not like ex-Marine like Bear Grylls is.
Is Bear Grylls?
Don't get me wrong, like obviously he's like.
Okay, yeah,
I think
says
he's like
here,
ex-military.
This is for you, Ellie. Raymond Paul Mears is an English woodsman, instructor, businessman, author, and presenter. His TV appearances cover bushcraft, whatever that means. I assume that's to do with a woman, but what do I know? And survival techniques. If it's about the other, I'm great at bushcraft. If it's what I think it is.
Ethan does love a bush.
Right, Edward Michael Bear Grylls is a Northern Irish-born British adventurer, writer and TV presenter. He is widely known for his television series Man vs. Wild, originally titled Born Survivor Bear Grylls. It doesn't say anything about any kind of military training here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sorry, this is not the Bear Grylls podcast. Military service.
Pod crap.
After leaving school, Grylls briefly considered joining the Indian Army and hiked the Himalayan mountains on Sikkim in West Bengal. In 1996, Bear Grylls suffered a free-fall parachuting accident in Zambia. His parachute ripped at 16,000 feet, partially opening, causing him to fall and land on his parachute pack and on his back, which partially crushed 3 vertebrae. He later said, I should have cut the main parachute and gone on the reserve, but thought there would be time to resolve the problem. So what's his military service then? Bear Grylls was previously awarded an honorary rank of Lieutenant Commander in the Royal Marines Naval Reserve. Okay, so he's a reserve military person.
There you go.
Okay, so he's not... I thought he was like ex-SAS or someone.
Oh, God, no.
He's more of a kind of Boy Scout, isn't he, that kind of went... who joined the reserves. Yeah. Okay. You ain't no tough guy. Yeah.
But yeah.
Can you survive in the Mojave Desert, Ethan? No, but I'm great with bush.
No, I'm great with... See, exactly, Ray Mears is your man. Listen to Ray, he'll teach you the way. It rhymes, so it must be true. Yeah, so we see Matt Smith. He's coming in. He's, effing S up. See, I'm keeping it PG and yet staying true to myself. I feel Matt Smith a really weird choice for this film.
I agree.
Considering that he was in something like Doctor Who, to then go into a film that costs God knows how much money to make with someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger and rising star Emilia Clarke and Jai Courtney.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is my thing entirely.
Although, when was the last time they actually put Jai Courtney in a film?
What is the
Sorry.
suggestion here that he's just like a kind of a TV actor / like he does this sudden jump into a big film? Well, you have to bear in mind he was Doctor Who, and Doctor Who, shocking to me as well, is very popular in America on BBC America. I don't know why. I never liked Doctor Who really as a kid. I appreciated what they were trying to do, but I think they just don't really have the budget to carry over the ideas sometimes. And even now, when they've got like obviously the new versions of Doctor Who post 2005, I think look good and look, I guess, better than the kind of wobbly like amateur dramatic sets that the 70s Doctor Who's and 60s Doctor Who's were done on. I don't know. I mean, I guess you can't be objective because you're an adult.
I feel like with some actors, like they have a face for like TV.
Yeah.
And then you have other actors that are kind of like movie worthy.
Yeah.
And I just don't know that Matt Smith makes that transition that well. I don't know. I just feel like he's in
that corridor of time in his acting career, which I mean, I guess is the same with Jai Courtney, who was also a television actor, and also Sam Worthington. I think he's a bit better than those guys. He's got more than those two guys have. But I think when you've got a good enough or a big agent, there'll be this tremendous push to get you into the movies in brackets or commas, and there's this big kind of push where they'll start putting you in like large scale projects, and like some people, well, a small amount will hook. And even if you don't, enough people have seen you in those big movies where you can kind of build a career off the back of that. So, you know, well, he's in The Crown now, isn't he, on Netflix? But I know what you mean. But it's all agent power, isn't it? I think you're only as good as the team that's behind you. And if people decide that, hey, you've got something, you're connected with the right people. And as you know, I've worked at these parties, and now you've worked at these parties. You'll see the same constellation of kind of celebrities and people all kind of circulating in the same rooms pretty much constantly. So it's being in with the correct people that can help shape and grow your career. You have to bear in mind as well, he kind of came out of nowhere, this guy. They pretty much cast him in Doctor Who from scratch without anything else. So I mean, someone took a chance at him. Let's but ask your next question, Ellie. What do you think?
Well, the next thing I was going to say is something that I kind of like about this scene, but it's also something I don't like about the scene, is we actually get to see Pops fighting John as a... Now I think that's something that I really miss about these films, is that we don't see enough of the actual endoskeletons or the actual kind of Terminators themselves without looking like humans. But my issue with it is, one, he looks like a Marvel character. Way more than a Terminator. To me, he looks like, and I always forget his name. It's the one that Paul Bettany plays in Guardians of the Galaxy. Is it Guardians? No, it's not Guardians.
Avengers. Vision.
Yeah, that's it. Vision. He kind of looks like Vision, just like a black one. yo, Black Vision. That's amazing. That'd be my hip hop name. Yeah, he looks like a Marvel character to me, and yeah, it kind of detracts away from the fact that
he's got those kind of like Geiger-esque sexy alien lips, hasn't he? The Terminator does.
Yeah, he does.
It's very.
And like the shape of his brow's weird, and like his eye sockets are like a completely different shape to any of the Terminators we've seen before. And then he has this constant kind of like weird scale refreshing like thing constantly going on. They're not scales, but it kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
And also when he does his weird kind of like morphing and changing from being backwards to forwards, like, does that happen? Do you reckon that happens slowly in real life, or do you reckon they just like slow it down for like cinematic effect? Because if it took that slow, you'd just be like, well, I'm not waiting for this, and just hoy him into the sea. Yeah,
it's kind of the Matrix effect, isn't it, where they kind of slow the action down so you can kind of like see kind of what's happening. But I think
soak it all in.
If they had it at normal speed, I think you'd be able to follow what's going on. It's just for the mouth breathers in the audience.
Talking about mouths, I want to know what the hell happens to Matt Smith's mouth in the next part of this 2 minutes when he's talking to Jai Courtney. And he says, I evolve in seconds. And then I think he's meant to say, and I am here, but he goes, and I am her. And I was like, what? I literally listened back to it about 3 or 4 times. Like, what? And it just made me think of you when you go, who. Honestly, when you listen to it, it's absolutely amazing. And I just didn't really get what that meant. I am in seconds and I am here.
I'm watching it now.
Okay,
Sorry,
Matt.
listeners. We're not doing dead air. I apologise. But
turn up the volume. Pop up the volume. See, Black Vision. She's making the beats already. No, I can't.
Okay, so only I can hear it at my end. So sorry, listeners, for the dead air. I'll try and fill it so we don't get busted by the copywriters with the music we're playing underneath this.
No. And also, the other thing that frustrated me about this little fight that they're having, little fight, when John is punching Pops, that is such a shit special effect. It looks so fake. It looks worse than like a computer game. I don't know, just the way they almost like show speed lines, and it's like, come on, guys, you can do like Genesis and like Laser Dude, like amazing, and then I don't know. It just frustrated me. I am huge.
What's he meant to? Is he meant to be saying I am here? I evolve in seconds.
Exactly.
And I am here. But well, of course you're here. You're telling me that.
I know, that's my point.
I might play it back with the subtitles on after the show and try and confirm if what that actually is. That is strange.
Plus, he does go. Who?
He does, yeah. So is he saying I am here?
The Valium just hit. Well, he's bloody blue for a start. Another question I had about this particular 2 minutes. When John is fighting Pops, he then passes completely through Pops' body.
He does. That's the thing.
And comes out
the Matrix effect when it slows down.
Oh, yeah, but the actual fact that he passes through Pops' body, would that be physically possible?
Well, yeah.
Like, how does it do that?
Well, no, I don't know.
If you think about it, he's a Terminator, but he's covered in like this endless, like he's covered in this skin, and he's got hair, and he's got and everything. How does? Is there no limit to the materials that John can like pass through? I guess that is what my question is.
You have constipation. Eat John Connor. He'll pass straight through.
Is there no limit?
Need more fibre in your diet? Eat a T3000. Yeah, I don't know. I'm watching it now. I guess he's just hitting him with these waves, and I guess the smoke of his body goes around him. It looks like he's passing through him.
Whilst you're watching that, pay particular attention also to Pops. Is this whole fight sequence of a CGI Pops?
No, he does go through him. Yeah. Or maybe, I don't know. God, it's so... I guess it looks like he's going through him, but I guess it couldn't because he'd be full of tiny little holes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just confused, Ellie. I just don't know.
People will talk. Yeah, and is it a CGI Arnold all in that fight scene as well?
Oh, yeah. There's loads of shots
that little
CGI
bit.
Arnold. Yeah.
Because for a second then I saw Arnie and I was just like, hang on a second, then like Arnie wouldn't have a fucking stunt double. Sorry for swearing. But then I was like, actually no, that's CGI.
Yeah, there's little bits. I mean, yeah, I think. Yeah, that's probably a double.
Yeah.
I would imagine. I don't know. Ellie, I've got a fact attack for you.
Fact attack! Youngster, come up! Black Vision!
Bringing back Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator for the reboot, and for the new timeline, was heavily influenced by Star Trek. If anyone didn't know this, when they rebooted Star Trek in 2009 with Chris Pratt as Captain Kirk, not Chris Pine, they created an alternate timeline. That way they could get away with pretty much doing whatever they wanted and not go, oh, you're treading on the old thing. They weren't like kind of trying to remake it. They just said it's an alternate universe with the same characters, but kind of not. So that's kind of what they've done with this, or suggested anyway. in the story, Spock Prime, played by Leonard Nimoy, enters an alternate timeline, the original timeline we know from the Star Trek movies and TV series with Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner. He enters this alternate timeline of the new Star Trek movies, meeting Zachary Quinto, who's the new Spock, and the younger Captain James T. Kirk, played by Chris Pine. Ellie, do you know what the T in James T. Kirk is? Go.
Tucker.
No.
Terrence.
Nope.
Terry.
Nope.
Tom.
No.
Trisha.
Nope. What, the Black TV chat show? Come on,
did you get
can
done?
do it for T,
Right.
James
Oh,
T.
sorry.
Kirk, TTT. Come on.
Why is it always the Star Trek facts?
I like
It's
bullying you
not
with
fair.
the countdown clock playing. It makes me feel good. You blew it anyway.
Just
It's
make me feel good.
Tiberius. James Tiberius Kirk.
Oh, you bastard!
That's the Captain Kirk's middle name. Anyway, forget it.
Captain.
Have you got anything more to add? Because we should do
The
this letter
captain says it's
from our other listener, James Spaldner.
I think we should do half now and half tomorrow.
Really?
Because I mean, dude,
There's
yeah,
not gonna
it's
be a
huge.
tomorrow.
It's so big though.
There's not going to be.
Well, if we do all of it, we're gonna.
I'm in London
have to,
tomorrow, dear.
We're gonna have to wrap up. We're gonna have to wrap up. Why are you in London tomorrow?
Because I'm bringing the bike in for a service, so I'm going to go to Marylebone, drive it to the service place. They can hopefully do it there and then, or I'll leave it to the weekend and go back on Monday or Tuesday and collect it.
I see. So yeah, I'm gonna need to wrap up real quick after this because my dinner's ready. Soz.
All right, we'll do half.
So
then. He spelt back
Spaldner.
in Arnold
Hey,
accent as well. Well done, Spaldner. We love it.
I was just going to do it in the accent, but Ethan's going to explain that it's done in the accent. Thanks. Hey guys, I'm back. Just let that sink in. Merry New Year, Happy Christmas and whatnot. I know it's been a while and I've been MIA. Missing it actually. But
Maybe he
caught up
means
with everything from
the Indian
from the
singer who
from the
sings.
show.
What is it?
And I
Gonna
know you
take
have a
your
lot
money.
of questions. I'm going to go back in time a bit for some of my comments. So take off the tinfoil hats and put on your memory caps. That rhymes. He's rhyming. Most of this is from my memory too, so this is going to be a very bumpy ride. Whew. Okay, so a while back, Ethan made mention.
Can I just
that a
say before
cigarette
Ellie
will
asks
not
this
start
question,
gas-
Spaldner, why don't you just listen to the show consistently, you fuck? Sorry, continue with the question. It's because he does this every time. He must be on some mission somewhere in like the Mojave Desert or the Sahara, killing
Dude,
Palestinians. Or
He's serving his country. What the fuck are you doing? Ethan made mention that a cigarette
serving
will
my
not
penis
start
into my
gasoline on
flashlight
fire.
twice a day.
He literally is. She's called Alexis. This is true. This is true. But I wouldn't
so a
advise
while
trying
back.
it. Because it's not always a guarantee. Technically, the cherry on the end of a cigarette is not hot enough to ignite the fuel, but Murphy's Law will always kick in eventually, and it only takes one gasoline explosion to burn the house down. Knowing this does, however, ruin other movie moments. Shit, my phone just locked. One in particular that always stands out is in Demolition Man. In the beginning of the movie, John Spartan is facing off with Simon Phoenix in
where's
Simon's
he's got the
compound.
cigarette?
Simon has hostages and has his entire building full of gasoline barrels and gasoline all over the floor. Simon is holding a flaming blowtorch and at one point holds the flame just above the gas on the floor, threatening to take out the entire building and everyone in it. Cue Eddie. Fact! Attack!
Simon Phoenix.
It's actually the fumes and vapor that... This guy is just in some kind of secret service. And he listens to
Why
our
do you not
show.
call in, Spaldner?
It's actually because he needs to be MIA.
We're not going to ask you personal questions, but you should do a guest host. We've got
you
like 10 or
will.
12 episodes left.
Spaldner, remain anonymous.
We're going to get Nichols
Ethan,
on the weekend
if he gets
after
a
this.
sniff
You heard
of who
that,
you
John.
are, he will get his claws into you. He will know what your internet IP address is. And yeah, no one can stalk like Ethan can. It's actually the fumes and vapor that hovers just above the gasoline that catches fire. So at this point, he would have burned everyone up, and the movie would have been over.
Well, no.
Ellie also
Can
had
I
a
counterpoint counterpoint that question. I heard,
What you can?
I've never put this into practice, but throwing a cigarette like in Die Hard or the aforementioned, Demolition Man. In fact, most movies where the hero flicks a cigarette at gasoline and it ignites, apparently you need actually a naked flame to ignite fuel. So that's my only thing with that. It's like the cherry isn't hot enough. I thought you'd literally need, according to science, which I've read, you need a naked flame to kind of ignite.
Because of science.
Because of science. Yeah, fuck you, science. Boom.
Ellie also had a question, wondering if all of the weapons Pops had in their secret vault would have survived the 20-year wait until Kyle and Sarah arrived in 2017. Especially, oh my god, that's this year. Especially with it being so close to water. The answer is yes. As long as he properly cleaned and oiled and had good ventilation over the years, there wouldn't have been anything wrong with the weaponry. Thank God for that. He doesn't strike me as the Netflix type. Yeah, Netflix and chill is not Arnie's thing. What does he like? His cigars, German music. You haven't seen
Christmas
Pumping Iron,
music.
eating your rubbish. That's it. He doesn't strike me as a Netflix type, so I think he had plenty of time on his hands to do just that. Also, there is one thing that I want to address that you guys kept going back to and seemed to be confusing yourselves over. You kept equating most of the T2 movie moments not happening because they killed the 1984 Terminator in the beginning of this movie. I don't think it was at all. I think it totally had to do with the fact that they were never there to initiate any of the goings on in the second movie, especially the death of Miles Dyson. They were travelling through time to 2017 when all of the T2 movie events were supposed to happen. I'm still confused. Ellie, I have no idea what the name is that you keep using to refer to the speakers that Pops dismantles to make his magnetic gloves.
I said loud hailer, and you said, what did you say?
Tannoy.
Tannoy, that's it. Tannoy's an English word.
But those
Tannoys
of
are
us
in like
the
bus
English
stations and
speaking world
canteens and stuff in the 70s.
tend to call them loudspeakers. What? Used in a PA, public address system.
That's it, public address system. That's what I was trying to say. A PA, not a loud hailer. I said loud hailer, and you said tannoy.
But isn't that American? Yeah, but isn't that an American thing?
A tannoy?
No, PA system.
Yeah.
We don't even have PA systems in this country, do we?
No, but public address is kind of like the word for those big
speakers. So how could that possibly be an English word if we don't even have them in our country?
Because
that makes no sense.
Even though we're the same, we're quite different, aren't we? We have like elevator and trunk and boot.
Same but different.
What's the hood of a car? We call it a bonnet. Same. In fact, John Landis said that on The Making of American Wealth in London. He said, I want you to take the head, I'm going to throw it on the bonnet, and you just film the bonnet. And they just staring at him, and he said for about 5 minutes, kept saying the bonnet, and then he threw it at the car and went, oh, you mean the... Oh, sorry, Landis kept saying the hood, and they were like, hood, head, what? And he was like, oh, the bonnet. Oh, that
no, not that little cute thing that girls would wear on their head.
But yeah, PA, the English crappy 70s word for that loudspeakers or public address system is tannoy. Sorry.
Tannoy is a thing. Google it. Moving on. At some point during the helicopter chase scenes, Ellie had wondered where Robo John got his helicopter. If you watch back to when the three amigos are leaving the police station, there are 2 helicopters on the roof of the building. Damn it. I believe John takes the other helicopter. You also wondered about Kyle's helicopter piloting abilities when he says that John taught him everything he knows, and if the helicopter John taught him on would give him the ability to fly this one in the past. I believe he could. Most helicopters are all basically the same. Slap yourself. With the same buttons. Pedals, sticks.
It's getting very
Ethan's
sexual.
Suffering for his listeners. Levers and switches all doing the same tasks. It's mostly just a matter of finding their locations in the different variations of the helicopters. We're not even halfway through yet. Also, in regard to the helicopters, get over them! You wondered how John would know how to fly the helicopter that he was piloting. Ethan chalked it up to him scanning the machine, like the Terminator does in the semi-truck in T1, and knowing how it works. I think it has more to do with... God, he's just got all his own opinions on everything. What I just had mentioned
right,
about Kyle knowing how to fly. I think he is a Terminator. I think that since John is now half man and half machine, it just made me think of Man Bear Pig. It was his prior knowledge of flying that he uses to get this chopper going. All of it. And by the way, I fully believe that all the original John and his thoughts and memories are all still in there. He is now just supremely upgraded, and his thoughts and actions are influenced by the Skynet. Information now in him.
Yeah, no, I think
he wants to stay as he is now. Make all of humanity as he is now, and will do what is necessary to make sure that doesn't change. Sorry, Ethan.
No, I think you're right. I think the Skynet part, though, as more now he's experienced what it's like to be this godlike character, he kind of enjoys it, and also I think the Skynet part uses those thoughts and memories as like a weapon against Sarah to kind of like curry their favour or trust. But obviously that didn't work very much, and I don't think the filmmakers perhaps explored or utilised that kind of like, not even war within himself, but just this duality between being this, not even a machine, is he really? He is an upgraded he's true cybernetic whatever, because he is a biological machine of sorts, isn't he now? So it's a good idea, just not perhaps explored to its ultimate limit. Having said that, by the way, DARPA, the Pentagon kind of R&D research team that came up with that weird robot. Did you remember it when I posted that video up at the DARPA dog? That robot that would, like,
that
run.
was nuts.
The person that runs DARPA said there's going to be more amazing shit that you won't believe being announced in 2017 to do with human-machine interface. So I reckon they're building Terminators.
What?
That's my theory.
That's insane.
But the guy that ran DARPA said there's going to be some 2017 announcements that will literally seem like magic to people. You will not believe what we've got coming. So there we go.
That's insane. And I'm going to leave it there.
Okay, do you know where you've left it?
Yep, I've marked it.
Okay. Spawner, correct and right, as always. Thank you. We'll read the rest of your letter tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
We actually forgot to do it yesterday.
We really have missed you. I know, but you had a bit of a bad day yesterday, so
yeah,
it wasn't.
Although it wasn't
the time, and I'm glad that you waited. I know. Well, I felt it went well, considering.
I like the countdown aspect of things. I'm going to try and bring it into more shows. If anyone liked the countdown part of the show and you want to keep it, please let us know. Ellie, one more thing before you go. The film Excalibur.
Yeah.
2 questions. Here we go. Get rid of the countdown clock.
Oh no! If it's about who's acted in it, you ain't got a chance.
Who
I never
directed
know
it?
Names.
And who was the composer? Go.
Oh God, I know who the composer was.
Come on. Who's the composer? You knew who the composer was. Who's the composer?
I know who the composer is, but I just can't. This on the spot stuff, dude.
15 seconds, Ellie. The director and composer of
Dude,
Excalibur.
my brain fart is so bad. I'm like hanging my head in shame. I can't do it.
Come on, 10 seconds.
No.
He did the score to Labyrinth with David Bowie as well.
Oh, that makes it even worse.
Right, you're fired.
No, dude, literally, I've got nothing.
Forget it. It's Trevor Jones. Trevor Jones, the composer, worked with David Bowie and helped him come up with the orchestrations for his song Underground and Within You and all that stuff. He also did the score to Labyrinth. He did the score to, of course, Excalibur. And I guess a little bit after that, of course, 1993's Cliffhanger. The film Excalibur was directed by John Borman, who directed Deliverance, the hillbilly rape movie. So there we go, Ellie.
Ethan's favourite.
Shame on you. And for a bonus point, who were the 3 actors who appeared in Superman movies from Terminator Genesis? Who were they? Go.
No, because I've not seen Superman.
I mean, Terminator Genesis. 3 of the actors appear in comic book movies. It's yesterday's question. I'm just messing with you. It's okay. You can go now. Thank you all for listening, listeners. If you want to actually follow the clip we're actually watching, you can follow us on YouTube, of course, at 2 Minute Terminator. You can invite your friends to like the page 2 Minute Terminator on Facebook. You can invite your friends to invite and like us on Twitter. There's new updates every day for like clips and movie trailers and the show itself, the minutes we actually discuss. So please do show your support. Go on YouTube. Oh, sorry. Go on. Well, you can go on YouTube and subscribe, of course. But if you go and open iTunes and go to our show and leave us a star and/or written review, that would be very nice of you, seeing as no one ever sends any bloody money. I'm just kidding.
Stop begging. It's indecent. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tune in for more countdown shaming. Tomorrow. Hasta la vista,
Baby.
Machines. They're unstoppable. Watch out for machines.